Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? That's a little loud. Playing some upbeat study music, deep house mix for peak focus. It's from my phone onto my Bluetooth speakers and everything. You gotta get more albums. Honestly, I have records that I want to play and everything right now. It's just, like I told you guys, I take care of my stuff, and sometimes taking care of things can just be upright tedious and time consuming. So I'm just like, I don't feel like dusting things out, using the cleaning solution for vinyl records and putting it on my velvet brush and using that to clean it for a bit, and then brushing it out again, then brushing up the needle, and then having to do it again for the other side. I'm like, that's just, when I feel like it, yeah, but when I don't, I just put excuse me, I just put something on for my phone. And yeah, so I was just like, you know what, house music, it's pretty good. I like it. I remember one time my lady and I, we ended up deep cleaning this house together on a Sunday. Yeah, like we woke up, we had breakfast, then we put the dishes in the sink, and I think we both do this thing where when we start cleaning, we're like, well, might as well do that, and that's how it was. I ended up with the dishes, and then I was just like, okay, I'm washing dishes. I put them in the rack. Okay, I put some of them in the dishwasher and started it up, which, by the way, my dishwasher is going right now, so if you hear it at some point, then it's that. And yeah, but you know what, might as well clean around on the counter where my where my stand mixer and the dish rack are at. Okay, might as well get to the sink. Okay, might as well get to the other counter. You know what, might as well get to the third counter. It's like, hey, the stove actually hasn't been cleaned in a while. Let me just clean out the stove. Let me clean out the racks on top of the stove. All right, now that's done. Clean the little shelf door stuff. All right, cool. Might as well start sweeping. And that's basically how it went. Because I ended up pulling everything, like my cat tree, the table with the printers and the Xbox and everything. Ended up pulling everything out from the wall and cleaning up behind it. And she saw that, and she fixed up the bed, and she ended up sweeping out from the bottom of the bed, fixing everything from the bottom of the bed up, fixing the bed, and then she moved on to the bathroom, which, awesome. I hate cleaning the bathroom, but yeah, she ended up moving up to the bathroom. And yeah, so we ended up sweeping the entire floor, mopping everything, before sweeping it all up, dusting everything. Once everything was dusted and everything was dusted, ended up sweeping up, ended up mopping up, ended up cleaning absolutely everything. It was incredible. Well, anyways, the point of this was, at the very beginning, I ended up putting music on, and the music that I put up was upbeat music, like something to like get your mind going, like, oh yeah, this sounds good, let's move and everything. And then towards the middle of it, I ended up putting like Elvis Crespo. That he's the guy who swings that suavemente bésame, te quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra vez. Yeah, he's the one who sings that. Ended up playing him. Juanes, what is it? Fulanito, throwing it back old school. Some Daddy Yankee and everything from like the early 2000s. And like, hold on, give me a second. I ended up putting like Fulanito, early 2000s, Daddy Yankee, and how do you call it? Yeah, some more Spanish Latin music. It was great. It was amazing. Just like really got us in the groove. Then threw it back for the 90s hip hop and rap, and then threw it back with some music from back home in the Bay. Felt good. But it wasn't towards the end, because it took us hours to really clean this entire place up. And it wasn't towards the very end where I was like, you know what? Let me put some house music on. Because I have a buddy who I met down here, both from the Bay and everything like that. He moved up there again. But he likes that type of music, and I was just like, you know what, let me check it out. So yeah, I checked it out, and yeah, no, it's good. It's good music and everything. So I was just like, and that was more to mellow down because she already, the bed was done, her clothes were getting done. She was already done with the bathroom and the closet. I was done with the kitchen, with our living room area, from pulling everything out and cleaning from behind there and putting it all back, or reorganizing stuff, and just making sure that it's all clean and tidy. That at the very end we were just winding down. The things we had left to do weren't tedious, they weren't lengthy, they weren't strenuous, they were just relaxing. So I put some house music on. It felt good. Very great day. After that, we I don't think we went out. I think the original plan was to finish cleaning, then going out, maybe to the beach or something like that. No, we ended up not going out. I think we just stayed in, watching TV, and had dinner. Anyways, so like freaking, you could hear my cat crying in the background. She's just crying because my lady closed the closet lately, because this little orange devil over here, Peaches, she goes in there and she lays down on her clothes, and she uses her other clothes as like to scratch and everything like that, and my lady hates it. So the rule is never leave the closet open, and she doesn't like it. The other cats don't like it either, but she's the one who like cries about it the most, because she's like, I want to be in there, I want to mess up your stuff, but it's like, nah girl, you're good. But yeah, so today I don't know what I'm gonna be talking about. Let's see where this episode takes me. All I know is it's funny because, well, one, because I've been working a lot more. My boss, we are in need of people at my area of employment, but what do you call it? He's been asking me if I can come in the mornings a lot more frequently. Top of that, when they need someone to stay overtime or come in earlier for overtime or anything, usually I say yes. I'm like, all right, let's do it, but yeah, so that's been happening, and I've been a lot tired lately, a lot more tired because of it. So I've been getting used to working a morning schedule like this. The rest of this entire week is mornings until the foreseeable future. So it's just going to be purely mornings. How do you call it? Yeah. So, I've just been tired. I've been readjusting to it again, today of this episode, I'm hoping to start editing it before 6:30, I hope, because my goal is to get ready, grab my gi, my duffel bag, and go back to doing jiu-jitsu today. And it's gonna be difficult. I know I'm gonna want to throw up because how strenuous it's gonna be, but I have to get back into it. I look in the past and I remember how into jiu-jitsu I was. I loved waking up early in the morning, like before the sun even rose, grabbing my bag that I already packed the day before, putting on my gym clothes, and just running to the jiu-jitsu gym back home. And how do you call it? Just how do you say it? It just warming up, practicing new positions, new moves, and implementing them in our daily roles. And it was great. And we'd be sore, hot, and everything like that, just tired. But all I would do is, after an hour and a half, get up, stretch around for a bit, then go and hit the showers. A quick 5 to 10 minute shower and everything like that. Put on my hat, grab my bag, and go to work. And I would go to work and change into my uniform at work and start the day. And that's how it was. That was my routine almost every single morning. And it became a part of me, Like when you do something over and over and over again, that's difficult from the very beginning, but you keep at it and you keep your dedication and control and everything. It just at one point just becomes a habit, to the point where if you don't do it, you feel absolutely terrible. And that's how it was with me in jiu-jitsu. And how do you call it? My cats are gonna probably start fighting. Oh no, he's gonna start eating now. So what do you call it? Yeah, so that's how it was for me. Another thing was back in high school when I was really into working out, doing the insanity workouts at home. I remember I would do them every single day. And when I had night school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, in order to help me make up credits, so I could how do you call it? Damn, she's crying again. Well, let me help her real quick. That should keep her quiet for a few minutes. No, I didn't do anything mean to her. I just went to go get my slipper, and she thought I was chasing her. Anyways, so yeah. So when I would have night school every Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday, I wouldn't be able to do those workouts because I had night school. And when I would get back home, all I had to time for was to shower, eat some dinner, and go to sleep for school the next day. Anyways, the next day, which be Wednesday and Friday, when I would get off of school, I would go home and I would do the day before's workout, and then I would do that day's workout. So I would do 2 workouts in one day. And that was the dedication. That was the dedication. And I'm like, holy crap, why don't I have that now? It's more difficult now. I feel like it's because I have more freedom and I have like adult money that I rather spend my time enjoying the Wi-Fi pay up the ass for my video games and food and everything, which isn't good. That's why I'm landed in the spot that I landed in now. But yeah, but I'm doing that today. It's either going to be Muay Thai again or Jiu-Jitsu. I want to go back into grappling because honestly, I love striking. Striking is fun. It's amazing. It's incredible. But with the type of work that I do, yeah, if you have to strike somebody and everything and you're completely justified, you won't get in trouble. It just doesn't look good, And oh yeah, and here's the thing that I want to let everybody know, and this is completely different than what we were just talking about right now. I remember one time before one of my old jobs working for the trolleys, they were talking about going hands-on with people and what your options are when you're going hands-on with somebody and they're resisting, and the different levels of resisting. Someone could passively resist, which is, well, like, I'm not going to do what you're telling me to. But if you guys physically force me to, then I'm not going to fight against you. Then you have somebody who is resisting even more than that, where the point that even when you grab their arms and put them behind their back, they will stiff up, they will tense up, they will try and just physically resist, but they won't hit you. They'll just try and pull away from you. They'll try and push away from you. They want to get away from you, but they don't want to hurt you. So they won't hit you whatsoever. Then you have one of the highest forms of resisting, which is somebody who will not only try and pull or push away from you, but somebody who will legit swing, somebody who will kick, knee, and do all that stuff, and you got to really differentiate between all of them. Well, anyways, and the reason I say only that is because if someone pulls out a knife or a gun, then that's a whole different thing than what we're about to talk about right now. But what do you call it? So yeah, so the whole thing was you have somebody physically resisting. And I mean, they're taking it up to the, like, let's just say this. They're, how do you call it? trying to like stiffen up and pull their arms away from you, but they're not trying to hurt you. So basically what it is one, you're expected to have enough strength and stamina to overpower the person resisting you're trying to place into custody. And that's standard for anything of that type of work and everything. But two, you're expected to know how to handle it accordingly. If someone's just not putting their hands behind their back, but they're not trying to fight you or anything like that, you're not going to go in there and give them a 2-piece. You know? You're like, no. That's a trip to jail for you, buddy. You know? But it's just like, there's like these pressure points. For me, it was like, I wouldn't punch people like that or knee them or anything like that, because it's just like they're not hitting me. They're just not putting their hands behind their back. So one thing I would do is just, as they're on the floor trying to resist, I would just tell them to stop resisting, put their hands behind their back, or pain compliance is going to be applied. So what I would usually do is I would take the experience I have from jiu-jitsu from back home and apply it out in the field, which most of the time worked and everything. But you have people who have either extraordinary strength and or have also trained. So one thing that you have to do is pressure points from a dominant position. And what I would do is, when I would have my knee on their back and a hold of one of their arms, I would take the middle knuckle of my middle finger and just put it in between one set of ribs. It's not going to break their ribs. It's not going to cause internal damage. It's not going to kill them. It's just going to put pain. And once they feel that pain, they can either try and hold out as much as they can or immediately give in. Either way, they're going to feel it. And that's exactly what it is. So there you go. Now you got them in custody. You're good. But let's say one day you see somebody doing something they're not supposed to, and it's your job to contact them and get them cited. And this was being explained to me. And let's say you're a 6-foot muscular man. All right, you're fit, you work out, you lift weights, you do some fighting on the side, You're out there, you're not throwing your weight around like, oh, you better listen to me and everything, but you're out there and like, excuse me, ma'am, this petite woman, 5'2", all right, petite woman. And she's speaking to you in a soft voice, oh, officer, how may I help you? And everything like that. It's like, excuse me, ma'am, listen, unfortunately, you're on camera and I personally have observed you doing this on property. There's signs posted everywhere. Plus, I know this is well-known knowledge that this type of action are not allowed. She's like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. This is not. I'm like, I understand. But unfortunately, I am going to have to give you a citation. You think that's a reasonable way to talk to somebody? No, both respects. Respect from both sides. All right. But then all of a sudden she hears, I'm going to have to give you a citation. And then you ask for her ID. All of a sudden she's like, why though? Why? I said I was sorry, this and that. I was like, I understand, man, but I just have to do what I need to do. This is the rules and everything like that. This needs to happen. But why? I said I'm sorry. Okay, you said you're sorry, cool, but that still doesn't remove accountability, That still doesn't negate the fact that you did it, Well, anyways, it's just like, ma'am, I need to see your ID. I need to see your ID. Please hand me your ID. No, and everything like that. And then, yeah, so that happens. So, how do you say it? Sorry, my cats are trying to fight. So that happens. Here's the thing. It is your responsibility, it's your duty to get that person's identification if they are not willing to provide you with their identification verbally. Because if they provide you with their ID verbally, then now it's a different process of having to contact headquarters, having to verify their information if the person is saying exactly who they are, saying they are and everything. So, how do you call it? Yeah. So that's just the whole thing and everything. Excuse me. But this person's like, no, I'm not giving you my ID. I'm not telling you who I am. I'm not going to get a citation. No. There are plenty of people like that out there. It is not for the person to say what they are and are not getting. It's up to the officer with authority to make that decision. And yeah. So it's like this. Remember, you're this 6-foot male officer who works out and everything. And you're given a hard time by a 5'2" petite woman. So here's the thing. What you have to do now is, ma'am, if you do not provide me with any form of identification, whether physical or verbally, I'm going to have to place you in handcuffs to detain you and have someone out here to search your person until we find one and search your belongings. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many people are like, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And after multiple warnings, okay, well, now the cuffs have to go on. Now you have this woman who just went from this petite, soft-spoken woman to this absolute Tasmanian devil of a being who is just screaming at the top of their lungs, who is just swinging around with their nails out trying to claw whoever they can, who is just kicking and screaming and punching and absolutely everything, you know? And it's like, you, as somebody who is 6 foot, a 6-foot male who is very muscular and fit, people look at you and they're like, oh, you shouldn't have a problem with that. You shouldn't have a problem with that. Oh, you can't handle a small woman. You can't do that, yada, yada. You got to understand this. It's different. Because even though they are trying to do everything they can to hurt you or to hurt anybody who's going to try and place them in cuffs, you have to maintain the professionalism to realize that you can't hurt them like that. You know, you can't just start swinging, because one hit from you is just going to mean lights out, you know? So yeah, it's very difficult. So you're like, hey, listen, to minimize injuries, to minimize any serious threat from happening when it's just one officer versus one suspect, you call in for backup. And now the backup all plays a role. So you get that limb, you get that limb, you get the legs, yada yada. You know, you keep crowd control and everything. So everybody plays a role. Now you have, let's see, person controlling the legs, person controlling an arm, person controlling another arm, person doing crowd control. Yeah, four officers right there, all trying to ensure that nobody sneaks up on the arresting officers currently going hands-on, and the other 3 trying to minimize injury to this individual as much as possible while they are actively trying to fight them. And that's just what it is. Because believe me, the goal is to apprehend as quickly and as safely as possible. The goal isn't to fist fight like you're in an MMA match, you know? It's like that would be a different story. So you have that, and then finally you have every officer, all 4 officers there are playing a role. One to control the legs, the other 2 to control each arm and place it under arrest, and the other one to maintain crowd control. Everybody has a role, has a pivotal role to play. That's not what others are generally going to see. What others are going to see is 4 people in uniforms going hands-on with one woman. And they're going to look at it the way people look at it who don't really have experience in this stuff. They're going to look at it as, oh, they're just power tripping and just bullies, this and that. And it's just like, no, it's not like that, you know? Well, anyways, the point of me saying this is because what I wanted to say was going hands-on is never pretty. You know, it's never pretty. You can be the most trained, fit, strong, disciplined person in your field just contacting a woman who's 5'2", but if they try to put up a fight and you try and put them in custody with as little injury as possible, it's not going to look pretty for you, you know? And now you're the bully and everything. But the most important part is this. It's not the public image, it's how you managed to complete what you needed to complete. You had enough knowledge, you had enough skill, you had enough training to be able to put this person in handcuffs without hurting them. And that's the importance of, you know, training and grappling in this type of field. Like I said, I like striking. Striking is cool. It's fun, you know. It shows how strong you are, how quick you are, how accurate, powerful, yada yada, everything like that. It's fun. But in this type of work, in a lot of other type of work, even just bouncing at clubs, it's generally a lot more acceptable to be able to grapple with somebody and maintain control while minimizing injury than it is just to put your fists up and start trading blows, you know? And yeah, that's why I feel the importance of jiu-jitsu should be vital in basically everybody's lives, you know? Just and that's what I want to do today. Like I said, jiu-jitsu helped me a lot. Despite not doing it in years, it's helped me a lot in my work, in all the work that I've done and everything like that. I didn't have to start punching people. I just grappled with them and everything like that. But Muay Thai kind of helped out too, because sometimes it was just like you have somebody who is your size, your build, your strength with almost your skill, and you're having to place them in cuffs, and they decide that the best thing is to absolutely start trying to fist fight you. You know, you kind of have to throw a little thing here and there. But yeah, so I mean, my job yet, I haven't had to have a situation where I need to grab somebody, but honestly, with the summer coming in already, I know it's only a matter of time. I mean, like, there's been situations where people have gotten physical with some of the employees, but you know, I wasn't there because it was either my day off or it was how do you say it? Yeah, my day off, or I had already been out of work, or my shift hadn't started yet and everything. Nothing like that has really happened when I was on the job. So, you know, one day though, and you got to be ready. And honestly, it's just good for just every day, you know? It helps you stay fit. You learn a new skill. You become more confident, you become stronger, faster, more agile, more capable. Your stamina goes up through the roof. And it's just great to learn. Plus, it'll help you in real life. Because believe me, you could be the kindest person in this earth, you know, the most giving, the most understanding, the most compassionate, empathetic, yada, yada, everything. Never hurt anybody, never cross anybody, you know. Nobody has anything to say to you except for the nicest things. But there will always be people out there that won't care about any of that and just want to do what they want to do. And one day you might meet somebody like that. And what do you want? To be there with the confidence, knowing what you're capable of doing, and knowing that you have a chance of making it out okay? Or do you want to just be like, oh man, I wish somebody here who can save me was able to save me. Man, I wish I was able to do the stuff that I should have done since the beginning, you know? So like, I don't know, just stuff to think about. That's what I think about sometimes too and everything. But yeah, no, it's just like my buddy the other day, we were talking yesterday, you know, the one who moved to Wyoming, him. It's funny, I made a joke because like he would have to drive to Wyoming and drive back, drive to Wyoming, drive back and everything to move stuff from here to there, and then come back to move more stuff from here to there. Anyway, he's been in San Diego for the past 2 weeks. I'm like, damn, dude, for somebody who's supposed to be in Wyoming, you sure chill in San Diego a lot. So but yeah, no, we kicked it yesterday, actually. Like, when I got off of work, yesterday was my Friday, today's my first day off. We ended up kicking it, and we had I feel like we had a good time, you know. Like, usually when we go out, it's either to his place, and we're either drinking and watching videos or playing video games and everything like that. We did that, except over here, my lady ended up cooking food. She made a steak and potatoes, something she saw on a video, and she made it for us. Really good, loved it. And we were here. He loves my cats. We were playing this game called I think it's called Split Point. What is it called? Hold on, Split Gate, right? Yeah, Splitgate. It's really cool. Yeah, no, he described it accurately. He told me like a while ago, but I just never downloaded it. It's free on Xbox. So it's basically think about a game that's trying to be Halo without being Halo, but mixed with like portals, and that's Splitgate essentially. Like, you have a Instead of an energy sword, you have a baseball bat, like an energy baseball bat. The Spanker, which is the rocket launcher in Halo, it's replaced with this white rocket launcher that looks eerily similar to it, but just different enough to avoid being sued. How do you say it? And even the armor looks very similar, but yet different enough. It's fun. I played it. It's different. It's fun. I just got to get into it. So when he gets a job and he gets Wi-Fi, we can start playing again together online and everything like that. Anyways, so we were talking yesterday morning when I had my morning shift, and he was like, dude, what's up with your podcast? I'm like, what do you mean? He was just like, I don't like, you haven't uploaded in a while. What gives, you know? And I'm like, no, it's just my work. It's just, you know, I've been working. That's all it really is. But then I decided to look at my channel, and I realized I went 9 days without uploading. I'm like, holy crap. But I'm like, no, it's been a while. I've been thinking that it's been a while, but yeah, it's been a while. So like today, woke up. I was really lazy in the morning, but I was just like, I'm determined to not let it be like, how do you say it? The other days where I had my 2 days off, but one of the days I was just so lazy. So I ended up getting up, fixed up the bed, swept underneath my bed, my side beam. My lady cleaned up a good portion yesterday on top of cooking for us. But I just needed to fold my stuff, clean up my stuff, and do the dishes. A lot of the dishes are currently done. I just need to put a second load after these are done in a few hours. But yeah, I did that. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just do a quick episode. And I was like, but what am I going to talk about? I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I was just like, you know what? Let's just see where I can go. Let's see where I'm taking it. And so far, I feel like, well, my timer on my camera says I've been talking for about 33 minutes, 40 seconds. So I don't think that's bad at all, you know? Oh, thing is, we ended up not talking. We came back to my place to hang out and everything like that. We drank a couple of beers, had some food and everything. We ended up watching Halo on Paramount Plus. Let me tell you, like, my boy, he is huge in the Halo lore. I really want him on here in an episode so we can like talk about that stuff, because this guy's just so knowledgeable in the Halo lore and everything. So throughout the show, it was kind of weird when I was asking him, what does that do? Where's that? But I don't get it, you know, and everything. That, like, the show was cool, but it's just like, I really wanted to know because I was lost. If I watched it for myself, I feel like I would have gotten it eventually, but it was cool to have somebody who actually knew things from lore and the show to be able to explain stuff like that to me. And that's what we did. And it was cool to watch it, but there was a lot of inconsistencies we kind of laughed about. Like, the very beginning, you had these guys. They had turrets stabilized on top of bed trucks, and you had multiple of them, actually, chain guns and everything. You had people with AK-47s. You had a bunch of rifles focusing, and they all just bombard the elites as soon as the elites break into the gates. And it's like the elites are just strutting in like, hey, you bullets can't hurt us, this and that. And they're just absolutely slaughtering the entire village. It's not even fair. It's just the slaughter, you know. Just think about Anakin Skywalker and the younglings in episode 3 during Order 66. It ain't a competition, you know. So I'm like, holy crap, you know. It's like their guns are useless. It's like, look, elites should have been dropping. They had turrets that were shooting on top of them with the other rifles. They should have been dead, but no. Incoming the Spartans. Halo Chief. Halo Chief. Master Chief jumps in. He does like a over the head front flip, whatever, and like he shoots at an elite. The elite shields get down, and then he kills it. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what does he have? It was like, how come he was able to just shoot the elite a couple of times? Not the elite's dead, but you have this chain gun absolutely just bombarding the elites, and they're like, whatever, you know, you're throwing BBs at me, you know. It doesn't make sense. And my buddy's like, well, there's a theory that, you know, the Spartans have better ammunition because technology, you know. And I'm like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, at least in Star Wars, they try and make it make sense and everything like that. Because believe it or not, in the Star Wars universe, legitimate guns are canon, you know? And I'm talking about gunpowder and lead and metal and everything like that. They're canon in the Star Wars universe. And the way it works in the Star Wars universe is the reason they have lasers and everything, or plasma to shoot out from their weapons and everything like that, is because it's cheaper to manufacture. Oh my God, there's such an abundance of that stuff that you don't have to worry for basically ever. You know, there's such an abundance of material in order to, there goes my dishwasher, in order to, make lasers shoot out of their guns, you know? But the downside to it is that those lasers can be blocked and deflected by the Jedi or anybody who's skilled with a lightsaber, stopped with the Force, and just shot back, deflected back at the shooter. You know, we all know that. We've all seen that happen and everything like that. But the thing is, in lore for Star Wars, is when the Jedi and the Mandalorian war happened, the Mandalorians knew that laser weapons weren't going to work against the Jedi. They knew that was going to happen and everything like that. That the Jedi were just going to absolutely slaughter them if they used that. So what the Mandalorians do? They're like, hey, you know what? Let's just take the dust off the old rifles and everything from the Vietnam War. You know, I'm just kidding. There's no Vietnam War there. They don't even say Earth exists. They're just, you know, they're just people. But they basically took out just regular rifles. And when the Jedi came and they had a war against the Mandalorians shot actual lead at them. And the Jedi were trying to deflect it until they realized, holy crap, we can't deflect metal. So they ended up getting shot. They ended up getting mowed down. It was embarrassing. The Jedi, if they couldn't stop every single incoming bullet coming to them, they would die. So the Jedi ended up having to retreat, losing the fight. So it's just it's you know, that's how they try and explain it in the Star Wars universe, you know. But in this Halo TV show, it's just because technology. That's it, you know. That's all it is. We're both shooting lead or metal at these things, but our metal is just better. But yeah. So here's the inconsistency part. Oh, the CGI was funny though. Here's the inconsistent part though. So remember when I said they were shooting chain guns that were on top of like the beds of trucks at the elite, and the elites were just shrugging it off like they were shooting like plastic BBs at them. Yeah, that same exact chain gun was on the floor from the bed of the truck, the ones that were used to shoot at the elites earlier. That same one was on the floor, and there was a fully shielded elite, and Master Chief saw the chain gun, picked it up. Keep in mind, this is the same one from the beginning, and shot it at the elite, and the elite died. It's like, what? You can't say that's better technology because that was the same thing used earlier. So yeah, so it's just inconsistencies like that. It was just funny. It was the show was enjoyable. I'm still gonna watch it. The show was enjoyable, but it's like I see inconsistencies like that just make me like make me laugh. It's like it's crazy, you know. My buddy says that they should do a thing like they did with the Mandalorian, where you know how in the Mandalorian it was they didn't show his face until like those very few brief moments once in season 1 and for a little longer time in season 2, but in the Book of Boba they just never showed his face at all. How do you call it? So my buddy's like, yeah, they should have just done it like that. They should have got the voice actor for how do you call it? For Master Chief to just do the voice and everything like that. Oh, my music turned off. What just happened? There we go. And what do you call it? Is just like just kept the helmet on, got the voice actor for Master Chief to voice him and just keep it that way. And I'm like, no, yeah, that would have actually been a better choice and everything. On top of like, you know, just I forgot what I was saying. Like they did in Halo, and I mean in the in the Mandalorian. Sorry, I gotta really use the bathroom. Hold on, I'm looking at something right now. Who did? There's like a couple of characters that were okay. So there's this character called Terrence Hood. I think that's correct. Terrence or Lord Terrence Hood from Halo. And he was voiced by Ron Perlman and everything. And so he was voiced by Ron Perlman. This character is a very old, gray-haired white man. So yeah, there you go. In the show, they casted a very old, gray-haired white man to play him. But here's the thing. Ron Perlman is also a very old, gray-haired white man. And he was the one who voiced the character in the games. So why not just bring Ron Perlman to the show to play the character he plays in the games? So it's just like he fits it, you know? He already fits it in. He's already the one in the video game lore and the one who plays him in real life. Why not just cast him for the live action one? All these, like, you know, why not? But, you know, it is what it is. Other than that, like I said earlier, it's a very enjoyable show. If you haven't watched it yet, give it a shot. If you like Halo, you might like this. If you're a huge mega fan of Halo, it's going to kind of bug you a bit with the casting and the change of lore and everything like that. So, you know, it's up to you. But yeah, honestly, I feel like that's all I have to talk about right now. Hopefully in the future I have a lot more stuff going on, but it hasn't really been much of an active week besides, you know, working a lot. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. I don't know. I don't think I asked you guys, I said that in the beginning. But yeah, I truly hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have been having wonderful days with either yourselves, your friends, family, loved ones, yada yada. And yeah, just keep kicking it every single day. Keep whooping that ass. But that's all I really got to say for now. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of The Mind of Mando. And I hope you guys have a very, very wonderful day. See you.